Welcome back. Today, we're not working on this M5. We've done a few videos on that recently. We'll be working on this M5. Today, we're going to begin our series on aftermarket screens that are available for the E60 M5. This is just a cheap screen we got off of Amazon. We're going to start with one of the cheaper ones. We have some customers that have cheaper and more expensive screen options for the E60, and we've kind of had mixed reviews. We're going to show you guys how to swap the screens out. So removing the screen on the E60 is pretty easy. There's a couple of T10 screws here and here, and then we'll remove those, and that'll allow us to pull the screen out to disconnect it. All right, now that the screws are out, we can pull the screen out and remove the two electrical connections on the back. So there's one connection, just pull it straight out. And then this connection cams, like a lot of BMW connectors, you just push in on the middle, like black part, and then pull the gray part back. This wire goes into here, just pull that out, and then pull this part straight back. Now the screen is removed. So if you were just doing a replacement screen that's factory, we could stop here, just put the new one in. But since we're doing an upgraded one, we have to get the connectors that are behind the iDrive right here, the CCC unit. So we're gonna be removing this dash piece along with the HVAC controls to be able to get the CD player out. Put some microfiber here to protect the carbon. So we're gonna start with pulling out this big dash piece. It's just clipped in. So if you just gently pull behind it, using the little non-marring tool helps also. And just usually go from this side, or you can even start here. But there's about 5 little clips we're gonna pop out. All right, so here are the attachment points, and they go into these clips right here. Before we set this in the back, we take this hazard switch out. So you push a clip here on the top and then also on the bottom, and it'll pop out. And then you can just pull this connector off. Now it's disconnected. The next thing we need to do is remove the HVAC right here. So we're gonna do this screw and that screw. On this car, it's a Phillips. I've also seen it be Torx on other E60s. So we'll be able to get this panel out, and then this lower piece will come out with it, and these buttons will stay. All right, with both the screws out, we can pull the HVAC part of it out. And then there are some clips right there, so we're gonna have to gently pry, careful not to mess up the leather there, to get this part out. And then also, if your car is a pre-LCI and you have the little ashtray right here, you'll have to have the door shut so that the trim right here has room to go forward. It's almost out. Just gotta get the connections at the bottom here. All right, this piece is out. To get it removed, we have to do the 3 connections on the back for the HVAC. This one, you just push on the top and bottom, and that comes off. And then the other 2 are the cam style, where you push in on the middle, rotate the cam forward. And then this trim piece is ready to be safely tucked away. And now we're at the iDrive. So we just need to do the 4 screws here and there, and then we'll be able to pull the unit forward and start installing the new screen harness. All right, so here's the first screen we're gonna be testing out. It's AI Navi or a Navi, something like that. Anyway, it was like 300 bucks on Amazon. The other options are like 700. Like I said, we've had some customers that have the higher end ones. They have some issues, same with some of the lower end ones, but we've never tried this brand. So anyway, it comes with a trim tool, wire harness kit, the screen, and an instruction manual. It's a pretty nice packaging. All right, so here's all the contents unpackaged. So this is gonna go in the back of the CCC, connect to the factory harness. And it looks like we have a cable so we can run aux, and then also USB. Then here's the screen. Pretty high quality. We'll see how it fits in there. It looks like it also has connections here for the factory harness, along with doing USB. So we'll go get it installed. Here's a comparison of the factory screen and then the aftermarket. I believe this is touchscreen, so you don't have to deal with this plastic anymore. All right, now that all 4 of the screws are out, we can just pull the iDrive unit out of the dash. All right, so here's the back of the CCC unit. You got the fan. There's multiple connections on it. Our main thing is gonna be this connection here. And it also cams out. And I believe we have to swap these 2 fiber optic lines right here into the new connector. All right, so remove the fiber optic. We then do this little clip right there with a pick. And then pulls out, and we can just slide it into the new connector. All right, so on the aftermarket screen, we got the main harness here connected. It'll connect to the harness we just undid on the iDrive or the CCC unit. And then we also have both the USB, one for Carplay and one for USB 2.0. Both of those are plugged into the back of the screen. So now we should be able to put all of this into the car, connect it, add the fiber optic cable, and then check if it works. All right, so we're back in the car with the original CCC unit. We're gonna put the fiber optic from the vehicle harness into the new screen's harness, the same spot we took it out at. Now that that's connected, we'll plug it into the back of the CCC unit. All right, now that that's connected, we can plug this end of the aftermarket screen harness into the vehicle harness. And then from there, we should be able to start putting the CCC and the rest of the dash in. We're gonna run the wires for the screen back behind so they're up here, and we can just plug the screen right into that. All right, so we have the aftermarket harness connected to the back of the CCC unit, and then we have the USBs routed to the glove box along with the aux cord. This is a pre-07 car, so it doesn't have it in the center console. And we routed them back through there after taking off this panel here, moving this piece of carpet there. Routed them up so they connect to the back of the screen. We should be able to bolt it back in with the T10s and then put the dash back together, and we'll test its operation. All right guys, the screen is installed. Everything's back together. So now let's try it out. All right, turn it on. And so we go to original car. Back to the original BMW screen here. We've seen with some of the more expensive screens that when you go to the original car, the aspect ratio is all off, so you only see like this corner here maybe. It's like really zoomed in. So it's nice to know that this one looks like all the aspect ratios are correct. So we do have some different settings here we can adjust. We don't have rear view camera or 360 degree. Even though the M5 does have surround. So yeah, overall this looks pretty good. All right, so we've got to test out the screen a little bit more. Again, I like that it does have the original car option, and the aspect ratio and everything's nice. I did find out that if you go into the information though, just by pushing down, the screen is normally blue, and it kind of looks blue on the camera here, but in person it's actually black and white compared to if you go like navigation is still green, but when you go into information, it does appear black and white. So That's kind of a bummer, but I mean, 300 bucks on Amazon. So the CarPlay works really good on it. I'm sure all of you are familiar with how CarPlay works. Save all of your apps and everything. Works really good. So far this screen has not been bad. I've been pretty impressed with how cheap it was and everything. Can't really complain too much with it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You have everything that CarPlay would have. Overall, this screen has some pretty good pros. I mean, the fitment is really good all the way around. The resolution on the screen is good. CarPlay is a very nice feature, along with Bluetooth. Some of the cons of it is you only get the apps that the CarPlay is allowing you to have. So if you have an MHD car, you can't have that on there. Boot Mod 3 is not going on. Same with on the E60 M5, putting BMW logger doesn't work on it. So that's kind of a downside. The install is pretty easy. Just have to take off some easy stuff from the E60 dash and put in the harness in. So install is easy, price is nice, the quality is good, fitment's very good. Those cons about not being able to customize the background, not being able to put all the apps on there that you want. It looks like Netflix is also not on here. We have a customer with an M5 that is from out of state, and when he drives up to the shop, he likes to throw on a movie. So that's not an option for this. That's kind of our review of the first screen we're going to be testing for the E60 M5. We will be testing out a few other ones, including the options that Vehicle Virals has, and also one that's more like the F series where the screen comes outside of the little cubby hole here. But thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to push like and subscribe, and check out other videos for more E60 M5 content. Thanks for watching.